live on Instagram? Shock Doc?
I'm waiting.
Jesus Christ. Shock Doc's back. It's going to be
Things are gonna run
great live feed today, guys.
smooth.
Yes, we are.
Tongue twister, throw it out there Thursday, because how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And I'm going to have you guys say that at one point. But today is Veterans Day as well. We are saluting all the veterans out there. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you guys for your service.
By the way, 2 of which behind the counter.
2 of which are behind the counter.
Right
I
over
want to
there.
say thank you to Jessica, who is over here. Also to David or Dave. Thank you guys for your service. I really appreciate it. And all the veterans out there, thank you very much. We salute you here at Shock Therapy. But it is Tongue Twister and Throw It Out There Thursday. So in order to talk about that, we got to go over to Justin Smith.
Well, thank you very much, Steve.
You got
Appreciate
it.
that. So on Monday, we were looking at the fact that it was Tongue Twister Day of the year or week or whatever. We just decided to make it National Tongue Twister Week and stretch it into Thursday. I asked Steve to Google
Justin
up a
did
bunch.
use his tongue to stretch some things.
I did. HR sent me a notice. Of course, I said a few inappropriate things, but that's pretty much daily. Our goal here is to have some fun. We know that this is Throw It Out There Thursday, so send us some questions. You guys, whatever you have, we're going to answer it. And if you sign on, you're going to get a shirt or some other swag. But if you sign on, we might throw a tongue twister at you that you must say in order to get swag. Somewhere in there is another tongue twister about saying swag and things like that, right?
I'm sure there is.
I asked Steve to Google up a bunch of dirty tongue twisters and nothing came up. What did you find, Steve? It was pretty lame, actually.
It was super lame. Something about a peasant and a pheasant and a whatever. But we could do something about the shock doc and how many docks could you shock or how many bellies could you pizzas or so. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll get it done.
Matt, you got to step up your game to keep up with Steve here. Definitely slap him if you feel like you need to. But you guys, throw some questions at us. We're going to walk around the shop in the meantime. Obviously, we're in the showroom right now. We're going to stop bugging them because they got things to do, and we always get in the way.
Yes.
Plus, we're usually very embarrassing to anyone that walks in the front door, and
I
we don't
got a
want to do
question.
that kind of stuff. What do you got for a question? Hold on.
Nutter side down. Oh, rubber side down. God, I need my glasses.
Nutter
Did you
side
say
down.
nutter side down?
How many nuts could a nut wood?
I'm starting off great today.
Nutter side down.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. He says, what do you not like about the new Razer 4C?
Do you mean Pro R? Do you mean XP Pro? Do you mean, right?
He does not say, but I'm sure it's probably the Pro R since that's the big push
What do I
right now.
not like?
About
We
the
haven't
4C.
really seen it, so how are we supposed to give it an opinion?
That's pretty tough, man. I mean, I've seen
Price
the
tag?
yeah, I guess that's about it.
42 grand.
Well, I mean, they've got some 2-seaters that are 32, right? Start 32 and work their way up to 39. 4-seaters up to 45. So yeah, I would say probably price. You know, every single year it seems like that everybody pushes the price barrier. Nobody thought that these things would get over $30,000, right? Everyone was like $29,900. No way. Well, that was years ago and it's long gone. So I think that's a sign of the times. What else don't I like? There's nothing I can tell you, man. I gotta drive it. And by the way, that is a cool segue. Thank you for asking. We will be driving the new Pro R next Saturday at Polaris's invite. And we are going to do an unboxing video shortly after that, as long as Josh can edit in a couple of days. Then watch that trash can, Josh. You're supposed to be clearing everything for his way.
What the hell are you doing
You
over
want to
here,
stay on
Jakey?
him before he ends
He's
up
moving
taking a
stuff in the
fall.
way.
But we're going to be doing test drive on the new Pro R with Polaris, and we're going to give you a full unboxing video shortly after that. That is Saturday the 20th. That's not when the video comes out. That's just when we're driving, and we'll be able to get you a video maybe Monday or Tuesday, something like that at best, for the following week. So look out for that. You will see some of my opinions at that point, but we're going to dig deep. We've got Polaris engineers there so that we can get our questions answered and share them with you on that video. So thank you very much, Matt, for sending that one. Steve, what do you got?
No, nothing. I was wondering if I'm allowed to drive the car.
I'm sorry.
Probably not.
They only, it's just one person. I apologize.
That's fine.
Send a question.
Eli White said, weird question. Can you feel the Smart Shock and the Can-Am deflate And when you switch from Sport Plus to Comfort like you do, I don't know what he's saying.
I think what he is saying, I
And the Turbo S Dynamic? Yeah.
I speak Siri,
Okay.
on that one. I think that in the dynamics, when the key is off and you jack the car up, it's going to sit up there until you turn the key and the thing completely drops down because the shocks actually open the valve, right,
Yep.
Steve? So I think he's asking if that actually happens on the Smart Shock stuff too. So Steve, answer that one.
Yes, it does. As soon as you turn the key on. So if you put it into firm and you turn the key off and then you jack it up, it will stay up at a certain, you stop it. It'll stay up at a certain height. And then as soon as you turn the key on and you hit it into Comfort, it'll settle that suspension
Matt,
down.
your dirty mind about staying up once you jack it, is that what you're going with?
Maybe.
This is tongue twister day.
Yeah.
Not sexual innuendo day.
sicko.
That's every day.
Yeah, what the heck?
So just to give you the technical reason for that, that's because the live valve on the adjuster, when you turn the keys off on a Smart Shock assembly, and also, well, it's different on a Smart Shock, but basically it closes off the passage that allows fluid to transfer between the reservoir and the shock. And until it opens, you can build up that fluid volume, and it will keep the car up until you open the key or turn the key and it opens the valve and that thing settles back down. So that's the reason for that. Also why they will ride very stiff if a shock is unplugged, because it goes full stiff if that's the case.
I always go full stiff.
When you unplug it, right, Steve?
Yes.
Tongue twisters. You're gonna have to send it.
So
That's what this
I've
is
got
about.
a couple. I mean, but they're not great. They're just like the she sells seashells by the seashore. There's no good ones. We need to have one like Shocky.
Well, you should.
Shocky Shocks does. Well,
Yes.
I'm underprepared, guys.
Yeah. We should
This
have
is why
had that
we do it
ready
on
to
the
go.
fly. That's why we do it on the fly.
So if you sign on, then we're going to give you one of these. You have to send it, all right, to get a shirt.
So I do have a gentleman named Ryan Bartlett that has asked this question a few times, and he must be late to the party, Justin.
Oh.
He said, "What happened to Chase? Did y'all get rid of him?" He gone.
That's all we have to say.
That's all it is. He gone.
Yep.
Sorry,
Chase
buddy.
Chase is on to bigger and better things. What else you got?
How weird have you gotten on the road?
What does that mean?
Can you elaborate, sir? Because we've gotten pretty weird.
Well, we do. How about this? When we are in Mexico pre-running for a race, we might be gone for a week, and we do have a mascot in one of the chase trucks that you have seen. His name is Dildabeast, and he makes an appearance every time somebody falls asleep on a pre-run and they get pictures with Dildabeast that they are not proud of. Guarantee that.
Anytime the Dildabeast is around too, I go by the name of Throbby Gordon. So that's just me.
Good thing Robbie's in pre-running right now. He's not watching this. Sorry about that. But
Bailey's 15 wants to know, stock cages junk, ? Should you invest the 2 or 3K on an aftermarket cage?
So I'm going to go against the crowd on this one. I think stock cages are great, strength-wise, because they do have things that they have to pass. They have got tests that they have to pass, strength requirements that they have to make to be able to sell it. And I don't know what those are, but I know it's over 60-mile-an-hour roll. So a stock cage, they're actually stronger than people give them credit for. I would do another cage if, number one, you're racing. Number two, if you think you're fast enough to be racing. Number three, if you like the look of a new cage. I would do it more over the visual than I would over the strength side of things. Now in racing they have different rules and we have to do it, but other than that I'm not against stock cages.
Or if I'm driving the car.
I'm saying Matt's against stock cages because he spends more time on the roof than he does on the actual floor.
It's been like a year and they still won't let you live that down.
Never.
Oh, and that was actually you that brought it up. Good man. I like that. Self-deprecation.
Never forget.
Let's walk around a little bit while everybody's thinking about questions. Let's see if Josh can walk backwards.
Oh, turn around, Josh.
If he's got the eyes in the back of his head, then I think he would be okay.
I feel like this is like West Side Story. I feel like we need to like walk towards the camera. When you're a jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day. Tonight!
You're insane, I'll tell you that right now.
You're welcome.
You are definitely going to fall over something right now. That I guarantee that. But if you guys haven't watched any of these before, we're actually in the shop where we do some of the shock work. We've got a few vehicles behind us We try not to do more than 6 or 7 vehicles per day because there's a lot of work involved in that. We're installing rack and pinions, we're doing radius rods, tie rods, any product that we have above and beyond shock work. But we do about 15 cars worth of shocks a day. The rest of those are in the mail. So shocks off of the vehicle as well as shocks on the vehicle. Steve.
From Chris Stafford, he said, are the Can-Am Smart Shock wires specific to each side of the car? Let's say for flipping shocks to the other side.
Yes. So the looms that are attached to the vehicle, you do not want to swap those from side to side. There are different lengths, and where they connect at the Y going into the computer, that computer does know what left and right is. So don't go changing the wire. You can, though, change the shock left to right, and as long as the wire stays attached to the arm where you're plugging it in, or in general, just change the shock but not wires, you're fine.
Yep.
All right, Matt.
HB Caddy wants to know, are wheel spacers a bad thing? I have 33-inch tensors on a 2019 XP4 Turbo. I have some rub.
Matt also has a lot of rub too, guys.
Yes, he's been known to rub it out. Now, he said he had 33s on what?
On 33-inch tensors on a 2019 XP4 Turbo.
On an XP? Those clear unless he's got the wrong wheel offset. So,
yeah, why would you do a wheel spacer?
Exactly.
On that?
So let me answer your question first. Wheel spacers suck.
Well,
Don't ever
sure.
do wheel spacers. They're going to ruin front end geometry. They're going to give you a lot of wheel feedback, kickback, wear out parts left and right. They do not give you stability because they're wider. When you go wider that direction in leverage, it softens the shock, or at least the shock's force against the arm and the vehicle becomes less, and you will actually gain some body roll by doing a wheel spacer. Never do that. You're talking about rubbing. The only way a 33 rubs on an XP is with the wrong wheel offset, which means you probably have a 4.3 or a 4.4 wheel offset that kicks the tire out, and when you turn the wheel, it probably hits the firewall, or fully compressed, it can come up into the fender. Otherwise, 33s fit, man. We put them on and without any issue, as long as you have the right wheel offset. So try a 4.1, 5.1, or a 5.2 wheel, and that'll cure your issues. Don't do a wheel spacer. Bad, bad, bad. No wheel spacers. You know what we will never make here? Ever.
Wheel spacers.
Never gonna make wheel spacers.
No kidding.
You know how easy those are to make? Pretty damn easy on the CNC.
Just a block of aluminum and drill out some holes.
Never gonna be making those around here. They are not good. So, Steve.
Scott Dressler said, bought a new KRX SE, which is the Smart Shock Edition, just for me and Theo. Not sure who Theo is, but he sounds like a great guy. 60 years old, just cruising. Do we need anything to change factory shock settings?
Well, since they're smart, you've got 3 settings, right?
Yeah, so you got comfort. I think it's comfort, sport, and firm on that too, or it might be sport and sport plus. I don't know. We've only seen one.
So you have 3 choices, man. Factory, basically soft, medium, and hard, right?
Yep.
No matter what they call it. And depending on where you're driving, you might like different settings. But go for it. Play with it on your own, just like Matt does when he's rubbing it out. But here's the thing, though. He probably has a better question than that. His question was probably more like, hey, is there anything I can do to make it better? Because obviously he's played with the Switch, right? Your Switch.
Oh, I was saying, wait, what Switch are we talking about?
If you have played with the Switch and you're talking about getting it a little bit better than that, yes, we can play with the inside of the shock as well. Spring kits and internals will make it ride a lot better, and you will still have the 3 adjustments afterwards. It just rides better in those 3 adjustments. Matt was first, raising his hand.
I think we actually got a tongue twister sent in.
Oh, let's hear it.
Wanderlust is the person who sent it in. It says, sending shocks sideways sometimes severs your shaft.
I like that. Steve, can you say that fast?
Sending shocks sideways sometimes severs your shaft.
Sending shock sideways.
Sending shock sideways sometimes severs your shaft. That's pretty good.
Sending shock sideways sometimes severs the shaft. Your shaft.
My shaft, specifically.
Not mine.
Specifically
Yeah,
mine.
his shaft, not mine. Very good one. I like that.
pretty good.
Do me a favor. Save, DM us or whatever the hell it is these days.
Send us your information. We'll get you a shirt. That's pretty good.
We'll send you a shirt for that one. So let's change the rules. Not only if you call in, you're gonna have to do a tongue twister to get a shirt, but if you send us a tongue twister that's worth a damn, we'll give you a shirt. All right? So you guys do the Googling since Steve did not do it.
Yeah, I know. Screwed up.
Steve, what do you got?
I do have a question, Justin. They want to know, are you ever going to give them a shock therapy East Coast shop?
You know what? That is an excellent question, Steve. And the reason it's an excellent question is because it has been discussed.
I'm not moving.
It has been discussed actually in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm not saying that we're going to do it. I'm not saying that we're not going to do it. How's that? It might happen. It is in the works, or at least in the discussions. How's that? One thing that I will say, though, is that we have a new semi. It is a display dealer.
It's more for product display, right?
Product display,
showing everything we got.
not so much like concessions. We're not selling food, right? But there is a kegerator in it.
Yeah, we might sell beer.
What do you mean we sell cups?
But full slide out semi with all of our products in it is going to be going to a lot of the events this year. Matt, do you have a count so far on some of the stuff you guys are putting together for your schedule? I'm guessing 8, 9 events that are mostly East Coast, right?
Yep.
So can you expand instead of just saying one word?
He does expand.
So we are looking at the series of high lifter events, the UTV takeover events, as well as what was the other one? Oh, we're looking at King of the Hammers for this year. So stay tuned. We will have all.
Oh, sorry. You're just so boring.
All right, Matt, you need to be back in these feeds as long as Steve is able to make fun of you. I think it was just getting too far last time is all it was.
Ooh, boy.
So maybe back off of Matt just a little bit.
My line or what?
No. He's part of it, though. He's all about it.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
to wrap up, that semi is going to be going to events on the East Coast, and we might follow that up with an East Coast location. We'll see. No promises on that one yet. This vacuum packer, I think, should be packing someone. We should actually do that. Where
Do you know how hot that thing gets?
Well, I don't know. Let's figure it out. But it sounds like a lot of fun.
It's worth the burns. It's worth the burns.
Suck somebody into the
Rampart 943 says Matt needs an upper skid plate.
Ramp rat or ramp part? Matt needs some sunglasses. It's ramp rat. I guarantee
Rat,
you it's
yeah.
ramp rat.
Well, apparently I need an upper skid plate, so
What's he got to say?
that's what he said.
I think he said you need roof springs too.
Roots? Oh, that's what it was. I get it. That's good.
Oh, Jesus.
Steve, your rendition of West Side Story is pretty good.
Thank you.
I must say.
Justin, which
Yes.
Halo diff do you use in the race car and why?
We use a Halo 33 spline internal system inside of a factory housing with a billet side cover. The reason that we do that is that the factory diff is a 27 spline. I might be wrong. I don't know if it's 27 or 29, but it's 3/4 of an inch diameter axle stub that goes into that factory diff. And it's easy to break those in racing. So to go to a 33, which is 1.25 inch diameter, then we don't have any breakage with that. We have some other tricks inside that housing as well to keep things from coming apart, like pinion bearings and other supports. But that's the diff we run with all Halo internals to go to a larger diameter stub shaft, a 33 spline. We are in the middle of testing some smart lock stuff, which also has big parts. It's not Halo parts, but we're in the middle of working with that as well. So kind of a combination of the two. We do have a Detroit locker style internal third member in one of our pre-runners that we've been testing just to have as much traction as possible, make sure it's not going to break. But we don't run that in the race car yet. Boom. Matt?
Stoked to Shred asks, any update on the new Pro XP products? Perhaps a steering rack, possibly a sway bar kit?
So, Pro
Sway
XP products, we have adjustable sway bar brackets that are coming out. We are about a month away from those. The steering rack is easily 3 months out. We are working on it though. It's in the drawing and prototype stage. Other products, new and above and beyond, like spring kits, internal shock work and things like that, I don't think we have anything else. Obviously limit straps. No, actually we have steering.
We do. We
So,
got something coming for that. Yeah.
In about 2 weeks, we're going to have tie rod kits for that, as well as bump steer delete adjustable tie rod pins for that car as well. Those are all coming out in about 2 weeks. So kind of staged here over the next 3 or 4 months, something like that. Hello, Steve. How you doing?
I'm great. Peter Quaid said, you showed a cracked frame at the spare tire mount last Tuesday. How do you go about fixing that? Do you just re-weld, add gussets, or replace the tubes?
So that's actually a really good question. If it's the first time that we've seen the crack, then we do 2 things. One, we drill the ends of the crack so that that crack does not propagate. We slice slightly into it or cut a V-groove into the crack and then weld it, always TIGged. Then we kind of stare at it and figure out why that happened. If we can see what's been flexing and why, then we'll add a gusset or an extra tube to try and stop it. If it's not a flex issue, but it's just maybe a thin wall factory tube, then we might replace the tube. If it's cracked multiple times, then we're definitely replacing the tube or changing the overall geometry of it, the design to begin with, which all 3, 4 things have happened, usually over a period of a season. Yes, Steve?
Are you racing the 1000?
No, if I was racing the 1000, I would already be gone, because since it's a peninsula run, meaning it's from the top of Baja to the bottom, which is Ensenada to La Paz, I've done that 3 times. It's done every 4 years or so. It takes about 2 weeks to pre-run that properly, and then it takes a whole another 5 days, 2 days to race it, 2 days to drive down and be ready for pits, 2 days to race it, 2 days to come home. So 6, 7 days just to race the thing. It's a 3-week time period to do it right, and I don't have the time this year. Way, way too busy.
And they should all be so lucky that you aren't racing in it, because if he was, he would come down there and whoop all your butts, all right?
Actually, so my money right now on this year, I think in the, I forget if it's an unlimited class or what the name of it isn't scored, but Chapo Racing, Ernesto, and Justin have won every single race this year in that class. And they're really doing a good job of prepping for this race. They've been down there for a week and a half, and would have loved to have gone with them, but I can't. So hopefully they win in that class. They're racing against Wayne Matlock, who is bringing out his new Pro R race car. So if you guys have questions about Pro R, maybe watch the race. He's going to be racing one. He's going to put up a good fight. It's going to be a good race. Love Wayne. Hope he does well. But man, Ernesto's got a soft spot in my heart. Hopefully he kills it. And then in Pro Turbo,
Get it, Chapo.
In Pro Turbo, Phil Burton has been down pre-running for almost 2 weeks with Bo Judge, and they're odds-on favorite for that too. This would be their first Peninsula race at 1,200 plus miles, and that's a whole another bag of tricks compared to a 500-mile race in the United States. So hopefully they do well too.
Justin, what nitrogen pressure do you recommend on a 2016 YXZ?
Well, 200 pounds. You can go as low as 150, never lower than that, and never go over 250. We run 200. It's a good, safe place because if you're a little low on nitrogen, it's still safe. If you're a little over, it's not going to kill you. Matt.
CD Graph 15 asks, "Where's Justin's mustache?"
So I was invited. I was invited to join the party on this one, but I was out of town when it started. I use that as a good excuse.
Always an excuse.
Yeah,
I accidentally shaved.
I use it as an excuse, and my wife is happy about that too. So I got a pass. Sorry.
My wife hates it, which is why I love it.
Any other good tongue twisters that Matt can try?
Oh, he couldn't read them. Well, actually, you got the blind man size on this one. Can you read that?
Are you talking smack about my phone?
100%. But I put it this way. Remember?
You did.
Yeah, I helped you out.
I need to set my phone for that.
You know what? I'll tell you guys what he's talking about is I can't see up close, and the text and font on my phone is huge, and they make fun of me all the time. But they like using my phone because they can read it instead of squinting.
Peter Piper picked the peck of pickled peppers.
Your cursor.
There you go.
Is this an HR violation again?
Huh? I'm in.
He's talking about his cursor.
I've got one for him if he wants to read it. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Just so nonchalant.
Was that a pimple pecker? I think is what it was. That's what you said.
I think I might have said pimple pecker.
Mm-hmm. How do we get I thought we had nothing but Hondas in here today. I passed over that Pro, sorry.
I've had actually a couple people ask what class Pro R is going to be in.
Well, in Score, it's basically the unlimited class that you've got Ernesto in, who's running or Chapo in, who's running basically a stock X3. And in Best in the Desert, I believe they're calling it Pro Open next year.
I thought they actually combined it. It's now called Trophy Unlimited.
Oh, new name.
Yeah,
okay.
so they combined Unlimited, Pro Unlimited, and Pro Open and made Trophy Unlimited.
Well, there you go, straight from Matt's mouth. So Trophy Unlimited is the class title.
Straight from Matt's.
Is the class title for Best in the Desert next year. So I don't know what Legacy's going to call it. I don't even know what Score calls it currently. But so what used to be what we run this year, and we don't run it, but you've got an unlimited class, and that lets you run a little bit more motor, lets you modify the chassis, a whole bunch of little things like that. Next year, Trophy Unlimited is taking Unlimited and Pro Open's rules, combining them, so you could run 2000 cc normally aspirated, or you run 1000 cc turboed, and I think both engines can be worked, if I remember the rules right, so you can work that. What do you got, Josh?
We have AZ Desert Rat wanting to join us.
Do it. Bring the tongue twisting.
Before he gets on, Justin, I want to know, somebody said, you may have missed the question, will Shock Therapy ever consider making a Can-Am hub you use for customers?
No, I really doubt it. So we'll get back to that, okay?
Yeah.
Remind me that in a second.
We got him.
All right. Who's with us?
Can you hear us?
It's AZ Desert.
What's happening, man? What are you doing today on the couch?
Hey, how's it going? We're just dealing with the Rona over here, man. I got my little buddy over here. So, I got a couple questions, actually. The first one is I just put 32s on the car, and it seems to ride a little rougher now.
Yep.
Especially in the chop and chatter. How could I tune that out in the shocks?
If it was just the tire that changed that caused it, then your only option, watch your step. Your only option on that one is going to be tire pressure. Dropping it is going to get the sidewall.
Okay.
So ultimately, the sidewall strength and construction of the new tire is stiffer, and that's why you're getting that translated in. So you can drop tire pressure. That'll help. The other one is if your shock has high and low speed compression adjustment, then adjust the low speed all the way out, which is going to make it super soft in the little chop stuff. But if you don't have that adjustment, you're not going to be able to do it. What shock and UTV do you have?
Oh, it's an X3 Max.
Max. So you do have low speed. You can adjust the low speed.
Yeah, I got high speed, low speed, and rebound. So.
All right. Well, that little screwdriver adjustment, you're going to want to turn that all the way out and start there.
Okay.
That's going to be as soft and plush as you can get it in the chop, and try and get that ride quality back. And then just turn it up, a turn at a time until you don't like it. When the chop starts coming back, then go back.
Okay, and then second question is, are there any concerns with running a stronger lower AR? Like, are we just moving the weak point to a different spot on the chassis?
Yes, you are. That's all you're doing is moving the fuse to someplace else. But the chassis tabs are fairly strong in that spot as long as you've done a double shear kit. As long as you've got tabs on both sides of the arm, you can upgrade the lower arm. From personal experience, my pre-runner ran stock arms on it for 4,000 miles before I folded a lower arm, and it was my fault. I drove it right into a berm, tire turned straight into a turn berm, and folded the lower. It takes a lot. A turn berm.
That's a good
new term right there.
That's a tongue twister.
That's right. But that was my fault. I threw another set of stock arms on it and haven't folded them since, and I got over 13,000 miles on the car. So they're pretty strong unless you make a big mistake.
Right on.
We do run, big arms on the race car, and you kind of have to because you're purposely just abusing the car. And we do have good arms on our pre-runner, and I've never folded a tab on the chassis with that, with double shear kit. So do what you need to, man. I have seen some upgraded kits for like the factory lower that aren't too bad. They're affordable.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a Steel Performance taco kit. So.
Yeah, I mean, have you folded one yet?
No, not yet. I'm all about getting ahead of it. So.
All right, well, don't go overboard on it. Just throw a cross brace and maybe one tube in it and send it like that.
You said taco
right
kit,
on.
and this
Hey.
guy started mouth watering.
Taco kit and turn burn.
Hey, but before we go, I got a tongue twister for you guys, though.
What do you got?
I got Steve Shaft Shoots Stones.
Steve Shaft shoots stones. Wow, all right.
I like that a
I
lot.
like it. I like it.
Okay, man, that doesn't get you one shirt. That gets you two.
Okay.
Double barrel shotgun over here. Double barrel Steve.
So, hey, do you guys got kid sizes, though? Because little dude's dying for one, man.
Sorry, man, repeat that. I didn't hear you.
I said, do you guys have kid sizes? Because little dude's dying for one.
We'll send a used shirt.
Absolutely. We have youth sizes, so make sure you let us know
All
what
right,
you
right
got,
on,
okay?
guys.
We'll hook you up.
All right, thanks a lot,
Thanks for
man.
signing
We'll
in.
talk to you later.
Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Steve
Shaft shoots stones.
That's right.
I like that. Hasn't done it in a while, so knock on wood, it doesn't shoot any stones for a while.
Good for you. For a while there, it was like a fully automatic
I did
suppressed
18 in
AR.
1 month. 18 in 1 month. I was trying to beat the world record, but I'm okay with not beating that one.
Is that how it works?
Nope.
Don't film me doing that.
Scott Dressler just wanted to know, Theo, just to verify, was his old lady.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, we wouldn't judge you. Don't worry. What else? You guys got any other good questions?
Cody Labonte said, my car seems to buck on the first, 3 whoops of a big section and then settle in and feels super smooth. Anything I should try to get it to stop? Have all your stuff, springs and internals, 2020 Turbo S4.
Okay, so usually the only way our kit bucks in the back is if A, the ride height is a little bit high, B, the shocks are set super stiff and you have no one in the rear and no tire in the back and no cooler, no weight. It can buck because it's so stiff. Or C, it's actually a little on the soft side and the first 3 whoops are huge, like say the first 3 at Oldsmobile, and you run into the face of those and it actually bottoms the car out and bucks because it bottomed and then it settles down. So there's different fixes for each one of those. I don't know which one you've got for a problem, but just assume that if it's too stiff, run it soft and try it. If it's bottoming out in the first few, then run it full stiff and see if that fixes it. Let us know and we can help you with some tuning after that with crossovers and stuff, but it gets complicated. So let us know what you find out. Either actually give us a call after you have some information, maybe with some video, and we'll send you over to Mike, and he's our tech guy, and he'll walk you through it. Cool. Good question, though. Definitely. Also, tire pressure. If you're at the dunes and the tire pressure is low, it'll do that. So make sure your tire pressures are like 12 to 14 pounds and try it again. Assuming it's in the dunes. But,
Yeah.
cool, man. Josh, you got any questions? Do you get asked routinely anything
Josh,
that you would like?
do you have any questions? Are you sure?
I'm good, yeah.
I think you have a
All right.
question. You look like you have a question.
No,
You sure?
I'm just blind, so.
Let me see. Josh, do you have a question?
I don't have any questions, Steve.
My question is, has anyone told you you are beautiful today?
I don't think so.
Steve's the first.
There you are. You're beautiful. We'll tongue twist later.
Go full tongue twister on each other.
That might be in text somewhere. I've heard that. That might be in a text
Actually.
message somewhere.
But hey, if you guys don't have, Matt, do you have any questions that the dealers ask you? What do you got?
Get someone that wants to join.
Oh, yes, let's do this.
Who is that person?
Iran Santos Ribeiro.
All right.
Iran.
All right.
Like it.
Did Iran? Never mind. I was going to say some stupid dad
You shouldn't.
joke.
Yeah,
Not good.
don't.
No.
What was your dad joke the other day?
It was horrible, and I don't
Say
think
it.
I should repeat it.
You should say it.
No,
it was
well,
something with COVID. What was it?
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
say
But
it.
let me look, you guys. Let me preface this: that we were having jokes about bad dad jokes. I don't have bad dad jokes. I don't even tell jokes.
It was pretty bad, though.
But this one was so bad that I had heard like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, this is going to work just fine for you guys talking smack. Here it is. Why do ants not have COVID-19? Because they have little antibodies. It's really, really bad.
Stupid.
Yes.
Stupid.
And no, my dad didn't tell me that. Somebody's dad did. It was horrible. Vowed never to say it again, and you made me do it.
You're welcome.
All right. Did Josh is still shaking over there.
Did he
It's
go
bad.
live?
he's unable to join.
All right, never mind. We can send it though if you want to.
Well, so first, before we send it, I do want to say, if you guys log off and go onto the link in our bio, we are doing. We don't just have these sweet mustaches for no reason. We are fighting to support nuts and butts. Okay, balls and buttholes. We are trying to raise awareness for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and men's health. So a lot of us here in the shop have got together and shaved mustaches in efforts to show awareness for that. So if you guys would like to donate to our team, we have a shock therapy team, visit the link in our bio. It'll be on there after this live feed. We'll throw it up there on our bio. It'll be up there for the rest of the month. We're looking to raise, do you have a goal set in mind?
I have not set a goal yet.
Okay.
What'd you do last year, Matt?
2,400.
2,400 bucks. Let's try and beat that.
We're at 1,500. So let's say we're shooting for $3,000. We're gonna shoot for $3,000. So if you guys can help out with that, that'd be awesome. Go to the link in our bio and help support us and do that. That'd be really, really cool. Other than that, if
Did
you're
you guys
looking
you
to,
named it? You named it Movember, did you?
Yeah,
we didn't name it
that's actually the
Movember.
name of the. It's called Movember.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
That's
Movember.
Right. So you guys want to look it up for more information, right?
We are Mo Bros.
Mo Bros, yeah.
Mo Bros.
And I'm the oddly sexy one, apparently. So, but if you guys are looking to buy anything from us, please visit our website at www.shocktherapyusa.com. Or if you have any questions, please call us at 623-217-4959.